So first of all, do work hard, but trust in God, not your own abilities or wisdom to take care of your needs. So yes, do work hard. Don't just lay on the couch all day eating bonbons and, scrolling on Facebook. No, do work hard, but trust God to actually be the one that takes care of your needs. Sincerely seek God, obey His commands, and He says He will meet your needs and even prosper you. Amen? Like we're like, yes, I want some of that. Psalm 128 says, "Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in His ways. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours." Like everyone says, that's going to be my new life verse, right? I want that verse to come alive in my life. But it starts with us fearing the Lord, having that reverence for the Lord, and seeking to obey His ways. Then He says, you'll be blessed and you will prosper. We trust Him to be our ultimate provider. So what's the application here? After you've done everything you can do, in terms of working, handling your money responsibly, pray and ask God to provide a miracle if you need a miracle. But it's after you've done all you can do to work, to be responsible with your money. If there's still a shortfall, that's where we come to the Lord and say, now it's up to you, Lord. I need manna from heaven. I need a miracle. And boy, howdy. We're like early on and there's no money and we've cashed in our 401k to pay our mortgage and we're like, okay, Lord, we felt certain we were doing what you called us to do. We felt certain we were following you. This is not looking good. Like we have bills to pay. Now everything, we have used every last penny we have nothing to pay our bills. But we've done all we can. We've been working hard. We've been handling our money responsibly. We've been trying to honor the Lord and revere the Lord and follow His ways. So Lord, now we need a miracle. And so we're both praying, Lord, I don't know what you're going to do, but you're very creative. So that would be a good time. Well, wouldn't you know it? Within like a week before our mortgage was due, which we didn't have the money to pay, we had no money like anywhere left to pay anything, we get this thing in the mail, this envelope, and it's from a life insurance company, and it's to my husband, a letter to my husband saying, would you like to cash out the life insurance policy for your dad that died 15 years ago? And we're like, what life insurance policy? He died 15 years ago. Why are you sending this to his dad? How do you even have our address here in Bellingham, Washington? It's like, wait, okay. And so it wasn't a scam. We cashed it in, and it wasn't like a ton of money, but it was like, I don't know, several $1,000s, and we paid our mortgage, and we were like, hallelujah, this is just like miraculous provision. How did this even happen? We didn't know there was a life insurance policy. He died 15 years ago. Why are they sending us out? So fast forward like the next month. We don't have any money again to pay the mortgage. We've already, burned through that money. It's gone. Okay, Lord, we've done everything we can. We're trusting in you. We're trying to obey you the best we can. Another miracle, please? Well, you can't make this stuff up. It's so crazy. I get a letter in the mail from a life insurance company addressed to me. I'm not making this stuff up. I should have saved these letters. I should have framed them or something. I get a letter from a life insurance company saying, would you like to cash out your life insurance policy? I'm not aware that I have a life insurance policy. This is me. I have no record of this life insurance policy. I have no record of this life insurance policy. And I said, yes, I would like to cash that out. And so I did, and they sent me the money, and that's my story. It's like, can you believe how God is so creative? That was like my manna from heaven. God provided in a crazy, miraculous way. I could go on and on, but that's the example that always just sticks out to me of like, wow, God is super creative. So we trust God to be the ultimate provider of our needs, right? Number 2, be a wise and grateful steward of money and resources God has allowed you to possess. That He's allowed you to possess. Being a good steward means using what you've been given responsibly. This all starts by realizing your money and possessions actually belong to God, and without Him, you would have nothing. This took me a while to figure out, because, I'm just going to be honest with you, I always thought I was pretty smart. I'm a hard worker and I deserve everything I get. I mean, has anyone ever felt like that? You know, you work hard, you do well at your job, and so you're like, I deserve all this stuff. And then one day, God just kind of reminded me, like, who gave you a brain? Well, that would be you. Who gave you a country where you can work wherever you want? Well, I guess you had me be born here. Okay, I guess I should be grateful for it. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden I started to realize everything that I have has been given to me by the Lord. It's all because of Him. He allowed us these things, right? Ecclesiastes 5:19. Moreover, when God gives any man wealth and possessions and enables him to enjoy them, to accept his lot and be happy in his work, this is a gift of God. So the application, voice your gratitude out loud every day and often, right? Teach your children to acknowledge thankfulness to the Lord at the dinner table, at least every night, right? Thank you that we get food. Also, set a limit ahead of time with your spouse on how much either one of you can spend without the other one agreeing first. For my husband and I, it started out as $50 when we first got married. Like if it was anything over $50, other than a bill that was, that we already knew we had to pay. But if it was an impulse buy or whatever, like these dreaded shoes behind me, then if it was over $50, I had to call and get his permission first, so that we had a checks and balances. And don't go into debt to buy the things you don't need to have. Oh man. Proverbs 22. Do not be a man who strikes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Ugh. So the application here, agree with your spouse that you won't use credit cards at all unless you can pay the full balance off at the end of the month. Okay, number 3, give money back to God and the poor, and you will be blessed. You will be blessed. Tithe to God joyfully and receive His promised blessings in return. Tithing means giving about 10% of your income to the Lord, to honor the Lord. Malachi 3 verse 10 says, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that you will not have room enough for it. Love that too, right? And I know there's several of you in this room, I know some of you, I know some of your stories, where you can say, yes, we tested the Lord in this, and He was faithful. Even when we didn't think we could tithe, there didn't seem to be enough money, we tithed anyway, and God did like that manna from heaven thing. It's like all of a sudden, I don't know how we're doing this, but we're paying our bills. The Lord says, test me in this. God also wants us to give compassionately to the poor and the oppressed. Proverbs 19:17, he who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and He will reward him for what he has done. So here's a little application thought. As a couple or as a family, pray about how much money you could put into an envelope once a month, and that would be your special envelope, where you say, Lord, lay upon our hearts who to give this envelope to this month. Number 4, set your heart on serving the Lord instead of pursuing money and nicer stuff. Right? Make sure you don't love money and possessions more than you love God. 1 Timothy 6, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Anyway, the application here, agree with your spouse about how many hours are reasonable for work outside the home and even in the home, because sometimes we become slaves to our work so that we can make more money and more money and more money to feed our obsession with new clothes, better phone, bigger TV, better car, bigger house, makeover kitchen, right? We just keep on feeding the money machine. So sit down and talk with your spouse about how many hours are reasonable to work. Number 5. Don't overindulge in luxuries and pleasures because they lead to poverty. So agree with your spouse to live below your means. This alone will eliminate so much financial stress and anxiety. I wish I could I just wish I could get billboards with this statement on it, right? That the key to avoiding financial stress and anxiety is to intentionally live below your means instead of right up to where you think you can possibly make it. And so you spend every last dime, and then if anything happens unexpectedly, you're in a whirl of hurt, right? Or in America, we don't know if we even stop there, going right up to the line of what we can think we can spend. We actually go over the line and put it on the credit card with no hope of ever paying it off. So the key to eliminating financial stress and anxiety is to purposely live below what you can afford. Right? Proverbs 21:17. He who loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and oil will never be rich. The Bible is so blunt, isn't it? But it's true. So decide to be content with what you have instead of coveting what others have. Hebrews 13:5, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.